about innovations in real estate. And joining us is Clive Ndege, who is the head of sales at Superior Homes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Calvin.
All right. So now let's get right into the conversation and look at this real estate sector. What is shaping the real estate sector currently from where you sit?
All right. Thank you. So where we are in terms of the real estate sector is that generally real estate is a capital-intensive business compared to the other alternatives in the market. And in the Kenyan space, we've seen a lot of focus on the affordable housing, where there's a lot of demand. And if we were to put numbers to that, we're talking about a deficit of about 200,000 houses per year, and that keeps on like increasing year over year. So on the other section of whereby people need to pay more, that is the middle to income. There's equally, if you look at the diaspora clients, for them, it's like they're getting a natural discount because if you are quoting your prices in the Kenya shilling and you're keeping the prices the same. So the Kenya shilling, let's say at the beginning of 2023, it was around 150 to the dollar. And right now it's about 160. So you see the client is naturally getting a natural discount.
Yes.
That's what the diaspora market, whereby the guys are now paying in dollars, they're converting it to Kenyan shillings. But in the Kenyan sector, for sure, it's different, yeah, because people are not getting an increase in salaries, let's say, for someone who's employed. So meaning with the inflation to start with and the high cost of living, so they're really feeling that hit and finding it hard to afford buying a house, for instance.
So the numbers have reduced?
They have reduced, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. And now let's move on to another issue and look at the developing nation, even as we move into the digital sector, trying to embrace digital innovations. How has the digital innovation impacted real estate? Even like for years now, as we are transitioning, almost every sector is moving into the digital world. So how is it affecting real estate?
On the real estate side is, I'll still point it back to the diaspora guys, whereby diaspora guys are able to have like virtual tours without really having to visit a project for them to purchase into it, thanks to the technology advancement that we've seen. Not really to focus on the diaspora, even the Kenyan people. Let's say you're in Nairobi and you want to buy a property down at the coast. With technology, you don't have to make a trip down to the coast for you to buy, but you can have like a virtual reality tour, photos, in that you feel like you're there as much as you know there physically. Yeah.
All right. And now let's look at holiday homes. Holiday homes. People in real estate right now are going for holiday homes or Airbnbs. How have this changed real estate?
In the market, there is a shift from the normal holiday, which people know. It has to do with going to an hotel setup to now holiday homes. As the name suggests, is an holiday home. It's home away from home.
Yes.
Whereby people will take a villa and move with their family because of two things. Because of now the convenience that you get in an holiday home, which you might not get in an hotel. You can go self-cater because most of the holiday homes, you'll find that they have the facilities and that you just need to get the groceries and you can do your meals. You can move with the house girl who will still make the very same meal that you have made in your home, in your primary home rather. And also the fact that it's also cost effective, because in an hotel setup, you don't have the opportunity to self-cater. You have to eat the meals that are being provided by the hotel and within the timelines that they serve. For instance, breakfast goes up to 10. But if you're in a holiday home, you can take your breakfast at 11, 12 without having to be confined in terms of the timing. So there's a great shift towards holiday homes owing to those factors. Yep.
All right. And even as we look at the holiday homes, the Airbnbs, what are many people who are coming to first of all, the clients that you get, what do they usually want to go for? In terms of construction of houses, in terms of the areas that they want to construct, what do they look at? Do they look at the location? Do they look at the surroundings? Do they look at, first of all, let us even start with the environment. When a client comes to Superior Homes and they say, okay, I want you people to help me build a house, what do they usually normally suggest?
So if they are buying a house to have it as a holiday home, this is whereby they'll be using the house, and when they're not using it, they can rent it out for some stream of income.
Mm-hmm.
They look at it from now the guest's perspective, whereby when you were taking a holiday home, you're not just taking the brick and mortar, because that's just an avenue for you to enjoy the environment and the amenities around. So what the clients will be looking at, what are the amenities around there? So they'll be looking at, if you are at the coast, it has to be proximate to the beach. How's the connectivity? How's the security of the area? Because you don't want also to go for a holiday whereby you just want to relax, but the security is not guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
The shopping malls, of course, for someone who wants to self-cater, we don't want them to be so distant from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so amenities basically have to really check for a person to take up a unit. And the other thing is we've seen most of the people who are coming to take holiday homes being families. So you'll find that a 2-bedroom will be too small for a big family.
Yes.
So 3 bedrooms have gained a lot of popularity
Mm-hmm.
for holiday homes. So the client looking at it from a guest perspective will go for a 3-bedroom. And of course, a location where the amenities are not far off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And now another issue. For example, when you look at the sort of clients that you usually get, where do they really usually come from? Do they come from diaspora? Do they come from the rural areas that they want to invest in the city? Or where do your clients usually come from?
We were just doing our analysis the other day, and we were positively surprised because about 45% of the people who are buying into the holiday homes are from the diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
You find these are people who are maybe doing their plan to settle back home, or maybe just a young person who does it, or who's not within the retirement age, but looking to have a property in Kenya, because there is that sense of prestige when the diaspora people are investing back home.
Mm-hmm.
So 45% of these guys are coming from the diaspora, and this keeps on increasing. And then the other big chunk is people who are in Nairobi, who frequent the coast, because that's where we have a project where people are really getting their holiday homes. And in Kenya, for some reason, we haven't gotten a better place for holiday other than the coast. So that's why it keeps on growing.
People want the beach.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. And now, when you look at a year, from January to December, it has different seasons. And does it perform, especially when it comes to superior homes? When do you usually get a lot of clients who want to invest? When you look at from January up to December, are there seasons where maybe not very many people are maybe contacting you? How does it look in a year?
So for holiday homes, it's a bit patchy because the demand is dependent on what activity, what holiday is there. So for instance, in December, it's one of our peak seasons. Mm-hmm. You'll talk about Easter being also a peak season. But for the specific project that we have at Vipingo, you'll find that we have a lot of events that are happening at Vipingo. So these events also do make part of the peak season. Mm-hmm. For instance, we are about a week off from having the European ladies tour, which will be happening at Vipingo. And of course, this will mean a lot of demand for accommodation in that area. So for a person who has invested in an holiday home, then they'll be looking to really, gain big from this. So in June, we have the motocross event that is happening. We have the East African rally that happens at Vipingo. And we are arranging to have more and more of these events so that then a person who's investing, they can see the value in investing instead of just relying on the holidays for them to get some income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And now, another issue. If someone wants to invest and they don't have the right amount of cash to invest or the right amount of money to invest, how is the process? Is there a process of maybe someone bringing in some little bit percentage of the amount they have and then now have some installments or a payment plan of the investment?
Yeah. In the course of 2023, we did experience a change in the interest regime among the banks. So that means a person was looking to turn to mortgage as a form of a payment plan to buy property. Mm-hmm. They'll really be discouraged because we're talking about a shift from as low as 13% jumping to more than 20%, which is quite a bit for someone to sustain it. So when clients come to us, we've seen the shift among our clients, whereby a client is moving from initially that intended to do mortgage, but now they want to get a prolonged payment plan in that they can pay in installments. So how we are accommodating that is that we are allowing people to pay over a long period of time through installments. This is whereby if you're on employment, you can then be paying from your salary within a period of, let's say, 12 months to 24 months, instead of having to go for mortgage. Yeah.
All right. And now, when you look at December, you've spoken about December. We've just come from, I mean, last month was December in the previous year. And very many people are coming for holiday. Now, at the end of the day, after a holiday like Christmas, January comes. Is there a new, maybe a person who has maybe just stayed over December and they want to extend maybe to January? How do you handle that? And maybe they had said, okay, we're going to finish December holiday and then we go, but now they want to stay even more. What is the plan for someone who wants to extend maybe for like the rest of the next month?
Okay. So because that's a long period for a person to stay with us, then we will definitely give them a sweetener whereby we'll reduce the rate of their stay and even give them some days for free, so that then their experience is enhanced for the long period that they've stayed with us. And interestingly, most of these people who stay for us long, these are the very same people who end up now buying. Because the real estate sector is it's a game of trust, and how people get to gain trust is by experiencing the product that you're trying to sell firsthand. And in the context of the holiday homes, I'll come live in the holiday home because in the photos I might not tell all the issues that might be associated with the house, but when I'm there, I'll know the issues, the positives, and the negatives as well. Then I'll make an informed decision whether to invest or not. So we've seen about 60% of the people who have stayed with us, they make up the bulk of the people who are buying, because you don't want to be going to the cost every time to rent a unit if you have that capacity to purchase one for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Clive, what we'll do, we'll just hold it right there. Go